Hi guys, my name is Daryl, and today I'd like to show you the exercises that are in Vince Gironda's Master Series Volume 6. Now I consider this to probably be Vince's most famous and most popular workout. The premise behind this program is to increase the production of growth hormone that is secreted by the anterior pituitary gland by using different variations of intensity to increase the secretions. So Vince, being a natural bodybuilder, had to figure out a way to utilize and to capitalize on his physiological systems to activate as much growth hormone as possible so that with testosterone, it can increase and build muscle tissue. So Vince kind of knew this a long time ago, and so he devised this program, and it works really, really well. So if you want to learn more about the program and the details of it, you can check out my book, Invincible. It's on page 257. If you don't have a copy and would like to get one, you can go on Amazon.com or you can go on my website, and I'll put the link below so you can click on that. It's at www.darylconnor.com. So now, guys, I'll show you the exercises that are in Volume 6. Here they are. Okay, now, guys, I'm going to show you the neck press. This is one of the signature moves from Vince, and it's one of the more controversial exercises. It's challenges the chest in a different way than just doing a regular chest press. When you do the regular chest press, like the Olympic bar, the idea is that you bring the bar down, but then your elbows drop down below your shoulders, so they're down lower, and that causes a problem. That's going to activate more of the anterior deltoid, and that's what Vince always believed. So he came up with the idea of this neck press to eliminate the anterior deltoid from activating throughout the entire motion. So this is the neck press, and again, it's not for everybody. Some people that don't have enough flexibility in their shoulders might have discomfort when they do this exercise, and so I always say, just don't do it. You know, go to dumbbells and do something that you can do, that you can handle, and don't force yourself to do something you can't do. But it's a great exercise. I've been doing this for over 32 years, and I haven't had any problems with it. When you do the neck press, now the idea is that you're actually coming down just above, at the base of the neck, right on the clavicle line, and you're gonna get a really deep stretch to the pectorals. And so what it does, it really stretches the pecs, because the way the attachment of the pecs are, they're in the humerus, and then they attach to the sternum and the ribs and up in the clavicle area. So it's like a little triangle. And so we want to get as much stretch as we possibly can, so that the muscle fibers can get as much stretch. And so the pronation of the muscle fibers are actually going toward the origin. So you're going to go toward the humerus. And so everything's kind of going in that direction. So we want to kind of keep that contraction in that same fashion. So this is what the neck press does. So what you want to do is lie down, and you want to bring your feet up so that you don't use your legs. And then you're going to open up your hands just about, so you want to be about 90 degrees here. And I'm actually going to show you two different variations. The first one, this one's from Vince Gironda, and the next one I'm going to show you is from Larry Scott. So the first one we do is just going to come off the bar. Then you're going to come down, again, all the way down to the neck, right into the notch of the clavicle, and then you're going to exhale, and you push up. And as you're pushing up, you want to exhale, inhale. Now you can, when you're coming up, get the stretch here, elbows out wide, keep the elbows back, and then you exhale. Now you can also bring your head up and follow the contraction. So you get a little bit deeper contraction as you bring your head up, and then you come back down, inhale, exhale, and really contract. You can really get the tension through the pectorals as you come up and lift your head up, contract, really squeeze the chest, then come back down, inhale, exhale. So that first variation, that's Vince's style, where you go to about a little bit past shoulder width apart, and you come down almost in a 90-degree position on the arms, all the way down to the chest. You're going to get a tremendous stretch through the pectorals. This is the way I learned from Larry Scott. Larry, and it actually works better for me. I like this one better, just for my own personal preference, but Larry Scott said to turn the elbows out wide, and you want to use your hand to get better bone support, so you get more leverage to push up, and still going to get the same idea on the chest, but it just allows you to have more power. So you come off, so your elbows are turned in, like so, and then you come down, and then you push. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So this is a great exercise. Again, I've been doing it forever, and haven't had any problems with it. You know, so it's one of those things. If it works for you, do it. If it doesn't work, then find something that does work. But this is how Vince taught me, and Larry Scott taught me, and those are the two legends. And so I trust them pretty well. So, guys, that is the famous neck press. So now, guys, I want to show you. Now, guys, I'd like to show you the 45-degree pulley row. This is also known as the racing dive row. And Vince would always change the wording, and over the years he would change the name of the exercises. So sometimes you would find a program and it would say the 45-degree pulley row, and other times you would find it and it would say the racing dive row. They're both the same exact exercise. Also, if you weren't paying attention in certain programs, Vince didn't always go into like extreme detail with the exercises, and he would leave little things out. But then sometimes you would read in a program later on, and it would have just a little bit of a different nuance to it, and that would, for this particular exercise in volume 6, it's the same exercise as the racing dive row that I demonstrated in the other volumes, except for in this one, he discusses that you want to push the bar down. So over the time that he was doing these exercises, he was probably always experimenting and figuring out new ways to make the exercise better. So if you compare the earlier programs to the later programs, you can see the different variations that Vince kind of added in as he went along. So it was kind of like he kind of kept reinventing himself as he developed the exercises. So in volume 6, again, he adds a little bit of a nuance to it. And this is the one where you do the racing dive row, but then you also are going to push the bar down. And if you're not paying attention to the programs and you don't really understand how they operate, then sometimes these little tiny variations you might not catch, and you might not get the exercise correct. So this is how you do it. This is the pulley cable. So you want to be 16 inches from the floor. And you just use a straight bar here. So you're going to walk back so that you're able to get in a full position without the weight touching the stack again. And so you want to get down nice and low. You want to bend your knees. So you're going to bring your chest onto your thighs here. You're going to keep your arms slightly bent. You're going to keep your head down between your arms. And then you're going to get a good stretch, and you're going to exhale. And as you're pulling in, you're going to pull in. You're going to begin to lift the chest up. And then you go into a deep contraction here on the back. And then as you return, you're going to push the bar down. And as you're scooping the bar back to the starting position. And then you're going to keep the arms still slightly bent. You're going to exhale. Lift up the chest. Contract as hard as you can. And then you drop down the bar. And exhale. Contract. And then drop it down. And then here we go again. The key here is as you're pulling, before you actually come up with the chest, you want to pull in here to activate the lats. So I'm pulling in, and then as you get about halfway, that's when you transfer and you come up with the chest, contract, drop the bar down. So the key points of this one is the same as the racing dive row that I showed last time, Where I was here, same idea, same setup, same position, but I was coming in and then going back, straight back with the bar. In this volume, you're coming in straight, and then you push the bar down as you are going back to the starting position. So it adds just a little bit more intensity to the exercise. It keeps the contraction on the back lit up the entire time because you're coming in, contracting, and then as you're pushing down, you're getting just a little bit more stretch, and it displaces the tension on the back a little differently than when you're just going straight back and forth. So this was something that Vince figured out, and so he started adding that component into the programs with the coming in and then pushing it down and getting that stretch. So it's allowing you to get that sweep of the back so you can really get that V taper. And it really it's quite exhausting, as you can tell. I'm all out of breath doing this. It's crazy. And so you come in, exhale. You get up here, then you push down, and you're sweeping the bar forward into the starting position. And guys, that is the 45-degree pulley row, the upright row. Now what you want to do here, you want to keep your heels together, and then you flare your toes out, keep your knees slightly bent. You're going to rest the bar onto your thighs, and then you're going to grab the bar about shoulder width apart. Now you want to round out the body. So you don't want to be standing straight up. We want to round out the body so that the elbows are slightly forward of the shoulders. Now you're going to look down. What we're going to do, you're going to pull this up as high as you can, preferably up to the chin. And we're going to keep the bar away from the body, so about 12 to almost 18 inches. And so you're going to raise up, and then you come back down. And down. So guys, that is the upright row. I'd like to show you the 2 dumbbell pullover. What you gotta do, you gotta use a flat bench here. Grab the dumbbells. You gotta lie back so that your head is slightly off the edge of the bench. And then there's 2 positions with your feet. You can either keep your feet up here, legs crossed, with your knees at 90 degrees, or you can hook your heels at the edge of the bench with your knees slightly bent. And this is a little bit more stable of a position, so I prefer this one. And then you're going to start with the dumbbells parallel, all bells touching over your chest. And then you're going to drop the dumbbells down just a little bit past your head, and then curl back up and contract over your chest. So you come back down just a little bit past your head. Now here you're going to get a little stretch in the tricep. Then you're going to exhale, pull the elbows back in, and then extend over your chest. Inhale, just a little bit past your head. Exhale, and contract. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and then inhale and exhale. Guys, that is the 2 dumbbell pullover. Now guys, I'd like to show you the thumb under dumbbell curl. So you just grab 2 dumbbells. You want to hold the dumbbell so that your thumb is on the same side as your fingers. This is important because the thumb can overpower the exercise and use the forearms to do the movement. So when you take your thumb and you wrap it onto the other side, it eliminates the forearm from overpowering the exercise and puts more displacement on the bicep. So you want to keep your thumbs on the same side as your fingers. Next, we want to keep our heels together, toes flared out, knees slightly bent, and you want to open up your hands here so that the palms are going to be up the entire time. Curl up, and you want to touch the dumbbell to the front deltoid. And you want to look at the bicep, and then you want to come down. And as you're coming down, the other arm is coming up. And so you're going to go up here like this, and you contract. So as one's going up, the other's going down. And relax. And when you go up to the top, you're turning the dumbbell up toward the deltoid. So as you're coming up, you're turning it toward the deltoid. So you don't want to come in like this so that the outside part of the bell touches the deltoid. You want to go up, you're going to curl, just a slight little turn at the very top, trying to touch the bell to the deltoid. So the key points here are keep the thumbs on the same side as the fingers. You keep your toes flared, heels together, knees slightly bent. So as you're curling one dumbbell up, the other dumbbell's coming down. So you keep it nice and smooth, consistent. Now Vince used to do this in the middle of his gym, and he had mirrors on both sides so that he could watch himself and watch the movement and really isolate the bicep and get that mind-muscle connection. Okay, now guys, I want to show you the barbell 1/4 roll-up. So what you're going to do, you're going to lift the bar up. You're going to put it on your deltoids. So it's going to be up on the front deltoids, and you're going to hold on to the bar, keep your feet down onto the floor, and then you're going to exhale and contract. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. So it's pretty simple. You're just going to grab the bar, bring it up onto the deltoids. You're going to lie back, keep your feet on the floor, and then you're going to curl just 1/4 of the way up. You're going to contract the abdominals really tight, get all the air out, and then inhale and come back. Now in this particular exercise, the abdominals are really strong. They're a very strong muscle group, so you can use a ton of weight. I suggest if you're using a lot of weight is to have spotters, just so they can help you get the bar in position. So guys, that is the barbell 1/4 roll-up. Now guys, I want to show you the alternating calf heel raise. Now this is one you don't really see much in gyms, but it's a really good one. It's a great size builder up for the calf. Now you're going to use just a regular calf block. And you're going to use one of these belts that can support and hold weight. And then all you're going to do is step on the block. And you always want to do this with bare feet. It doesn't really work well with shoes on. So you're going to stay on the calf block. You're going to drop one heel down to get a full stretch, while the other foot is you're in the peak contraction. So you're up on your big toe here, and then you're going to come up with the bottom foot, and then you go into a peak contraction. So both heels turn in, and then you drop the other foot down, and then you go up for the peak contraction, and you're just going back and forth. So one's in contraction, the other one's getting stretched. You go up, contract, and then back down. Up, contract, pull your heels in, go up on the big toe for support, go down, exhale, come up, down, and then you go, just keep moving up and down, alternating. So as one is going down, the other one's staying in peak contraction. So the key point here is just as one foot's stretching, the other foot's going to be in peak contraction, and they both come up to peak contraction, then you drop the other one down. So you're keeping constant tension on the calf at all times. Guys, that is the alternating calf heel raise. Now let's show you the Dellinger squat on the Smith machine. Now Vince actually preferred the Smith machine, or he'd call it the squat machine, to do this exercise. It was just really a better way to isolate the quadriceps without having to worry about holding the bar and kind of messing with the intensity and strength of the upper body, as opposed to this, when you don't have to put a lot of strain onto your upper body, so you can just let the bar kind of rest on your shoulders, and then you can let the legs do all the work. Sometimes when you just use the Olympic bar, like I demonstrated a few volumes ago, so when you're doing just the free weight Olympic bar Dellinger squat, it can be a little bit cumbersome because you're holding the bar up here, especially if you're using heavy weight and you're trying to negotiate and keep your back straight and everything. And sometimes that can take you out of focus, and you can lose the intensity on what you're trying to achieve on the legs. So with the Smith machine, it just allows you to stay in the exercise with high intensity without having to worry about the arms or holding onto the weight, because you can actually keep the bar relatively light on your shoulders, and you can let the intensity go all into the legs. So you can get just a phenomenal pump with this exercise on the Smith machine. Now the way this works is you want to have a 2x4, and this is actually the 2x4 that was in Vince's gym, which is kind of cool. So that's what I'll be using. And you want the 2x4 to be in front of the bar about 12 inches. And so then when you get underneath the bar, the key is you want to keep the bar over your hips. So that keeps you in the right position. So you step on the wood here, and you're going to keep your heels elevated, and you're going to have your feet 11 inches apart. And so again, you want to keep the bar over the hips. And so that's lined up. So then we go right down straight, go down, keep the back straight. Hips are going to be underneath the bar at all times. Then you're going to come up halfway, and then come down. And then as you come up, you're actually going to sort of thrust your hips forward. So you're squeezing the glutes tight here, and you're not fully locking out your legs. So you're about 3/4 of the way up. So you're keeping the tension on the quadriceps. Then you're going to come back down. You're going to inhale. And then we're going to go up halfway and come down. And then you're squeezing the glutes, pushing your hips forward so you can keep the tension on the legs at all times. Go back down, up halfway. So the key to this exercise, keeping your back straight so that your hips remain underneath the bar while you're in that squatted position. And when you come up, as you're coming up, you're thrusting the hips forward so you can keep the engagement on the quadriceps at all times. So that's why you stand on the wood, because it keeps the displacement of the tension on the quadriceps, and that's what you want. So in this particular program, it calls out for the 1.5 rep scheme, and so that's sort of the built-in burn that's associated with this exercise. And the 1.5 rep it's brutal, so you don't need a ton of weight when you do this. I would always kind of go easy and just learn the motion, but again, you're really going to keep your back straight as it's going down so that the bar remains over your hips. And then as you come up, you thrust, so you get that forward position on the quadriceps. And when you do that, you can really just feel the way the quadriceps are working. You can kind of feel that, almost like that sweeping motion on the quadriceps developing. So this is a great exercise. It really builds the legs. It creates that illusion again of a longer leg with smaller hips. And that's what you want, especially in bodybuilding when you're being judged on symmetry. This will really kind of help bring out those legs so you can really get some points on the stage. And so guys, this is the Dellinger squat on the Smith machine. So there you have it, guys. Those are the exercises on volume 6 of the Master Series. Now if you have any questions or would like to learn more about my programs and books, you can check me out on my website. It's www.darylcohen.com. I want to thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Take care.